Am I recording? I just wanted to say one thing. If there is a Christ, and if he suffered the same as me, or more than me, then he is a living legend. But if not, and he hasn't endured nerve pain, he hasn't endured attempted murder against himself. Actually, he did survive attempted murder. So if he's legit in suffering all kinds of every pain possible, mental, physical, every PTSD, everything, then he is a legend. But if not, then he is a nobody. And I feel like I kind of have to believe in God, because I'm not smart enough to come this far by myself, and I don't believe I came this. I mean, I've tried really hard, but I don't think I did this on my own. And if you ever have attempted suicide and and you got sent back, and you got sent back, you know that there is more to this life than just randomness. Until you commit suicide and survive, and I saw some stuff a little bit. That there is possibly a God that knows who the hell you are, and knows, because somebody knew exactly when I was attempting suicide 5 years ago, like exactly the moment I did it. They knew exactly when I did it. And I thought it was over. I thought I was beyond the medical field, which I was. I was beyond the medical field 5 years ago. 100%. I was way beyond the medical field. And I'm still not fully recovered, and it's been 5 years of straight therapy and help. I'm still not recovered from my whole life. I made bad decisions based on events like when I was 13, a guy tried to kill me, a church leader. That really messed me up in a lot of ways. I thought God was my enemy. I thought he was against me. So I always thought God was against me. I always hated myself because of that. And then a car accident happened. I got injuries from a car accident that never got fixed. We couldn't figure out how to fix it. So I thought God even hated me more. And so it kept building and building and building. But once I reached the bottom and attempted suicide, and I was sure that there was no God, I got sent back. I really did get sent back. And I haven't recovered fully yet, but I don't know. I'm one of the few people that probably knows there's more past your death. And so I'm like, I always have to think about that. I'm like, if I try to die with a more serious means, a more permanent means, then I know what I'm facing. You know what I'm saying? I know it's not just gonna be me going in the ground, done. Like Adam's gone. If I die a certain way, more, like with a gun or something, I know I'm gonna be facing some shit. I know I'm gonna be facing some shit. So I have to think twice, and so that's why I kind of try. Even though life is hard as hell, I still kind of try. You know, I keep going, seeing if things open up for me, opportunities, and just keep working and working. Cause I'm a good worker, even disabled. I'm a good worker. I can work. I'm more reliable than healthy people. You know, I work harder than healthy people. I just do. I've always worked harder than everybody else, to my detriment. So I work a little smarter now. I don't work myself to the ground like I did before, hating myself like some kind of slave, you know. But I don't know. I'm just saying, if there is a Christ and he really did go through what I went through, then he is a living legend. That's all I gotta say. He deserves some respect. Because I haven't come across anybody that's been through as many injuries, many surgeries, many psychological issues as me, you know. I was diagnosed with 5 different mental illnesses at the same time until we narrowed it down to one, you know, PTSD from religiosity, or whatever. Fuck. But anyways, if he can carry me through to full health, that would be crazy. If he could make me fully healthy, that would be freaking crazy. And I have a beautiful family of my own, that would be crazy. Because nobody that I know of has been through more than me. My best friend went through a lot too, though. He suffered a lot too. But I've never come across someone that has suffered more than the two of us. Down here, on this planet. My whole life, I watched TV. I watched all these healthy adults on TV, you know, living the good life, you know, doing whatever, you know, living in leisure, you know. My whole life I've seen that, making millions of dollars, you know, but nobody, I've never come across anybody that can relate to me besides one other person, my friend that took his life. So if Christ has been through as much as me, it's a big deal, or more than me. It's a big deal. If it's legit, and so far it seems like it may be legit that someone knows what the hell I'm going through and is trying to repair me or something. I don't know. Which is impossible to me, because every professional that I've seen has no idea how to fix me. They have no clue, except go to therapy every week. That's it. They say there's nothing I can prescribe that can fix you. True. There's nothing they can prescribe to fix me from what I've gone through. And second, there's nothing I can buy at the store that can fix me either. Nothing. Zero. There's no creams. There's no, you know, there's no pain creams. There's no fucking anything that can put a dent in this shit. And I don't know. It's just crazy. Every day is just crazy. It's like I find a new way to improve every day, and I don't know. All I'm saying is if that guy's legit, I already know religions are bullshit. You know, they're all about making money for the leaders and bullshit rituals to fuck with your head, and I already know religion is bullshit. But is the story of Christ bullshit? That's the real question. Is the story of Christ bullshit? 3 religions, 3 that I know of, believe that Christ existed. They acknowledge that he existed. The Christ figure existed. So, what does that tell you? Maybe, just maybe, there was somebody that existed. You know, the Muslims believe in Christ existed. The Christians obviously believe he existed. And the Jews obviously know he existed. 3 groups acknowledge that he existed that I know of. What does that say? For 2,000 years, 3 major religions acknowledge that he exists. 3. So, the question is, was he legit in his suffering of divinity? Was he legit God material? Was he legit partially a God? No bullshit, no nothing. Suffered from every angle that a human can suffer. I don't know. That's the real question. Because you can try to disprove it by like, oh, he wasn't written about till 80 years later in the Bible. People in the Bible weren't alive at the same time he was. You can say that all you want, but can you really, really disprove it yourself that he walked the earth? Can you disprove it that he walked the earth? I don't think so. I mean, I don't know about you, but the men of this world are pretty confused. They're pretty damn confused. I mean, they understand the dollar, they understand business, they understand money, but other than that, the men of this world are pretty damn confused. And I don't see a leader among one single man on this earth. Not one. Since I've been on this earth, there hasn't been a true leader on this earth since I've been alive. They've all been greedy sons of bitches. All of them have been greedy sons of bitches. All of you. All of you have been doing, you know, let me put it this way. If the minimum wage was $2 an hour, you guys would do it. If the minimum wage was $2 an hour, the men of this world would do it. You want to follow those guys, or do you want to follow a guy that's suffered as much as you, been through the fire like you have? Do you want to follow that guy that's been through some shit like you have? I'd rather follow the guy that's been through what I've been through, you know, that knows some shit, that knows some knowledge of suffering, that knows knowledge, that knows things that I don't know, that knows things that men don't know. I mean, that understands more than just the dollar, that understands more than money, you know, because money just, it only does so much, you know, it only does so much. It's just paper, you know. It does buy some things to survive, but in the end, it doesn't, money doesn't follow you in the afterlife, you know. It doesn't follow you, you know. You can't take money with you. That's a true statement. You cannot take money with you to the next life. You can't take your possessions to the next life. You can't take your boat to the next life, you know. You can't take your Ferrari to the next life. You can't take your nice mansion to the next life. You can't take any of that to the next life. And maybe that's a good thing. Well, I think it's a great thing. But anyways, I'm just saying that if I can recover all the way, then Christ may be the real deal. Maybe. He may be the real deal if he can guide me the whole way to full recovery. Because I didn't block my suicide. I did not block my suicide. it was a for sure suicide. I did not block it. Anybody that survived a suicide knows, well, some people know, that there's more to this life than meets the eye. Way more. There's way more than just your television. There's way more than just the media. I mean, because all that is just a bunch of humans that have no idea what the hell's going on. They're just reading scripts. All they're doing is reading scripts to you every day. They're just reading their teleprompters. That's it. I mean, they're just people doing their job and for the dollar. I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched TV in almost like 2 years, man. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of lies. They just lie, and just distract you, and just. So I had to stop watching it, you know. And I just realized I need to focus on my recovery, and religion lied to me, betrayed me, and society lied to me, betrayed me. So what's the third option? Christ, maybe? I don't know. Maybe Christ is on our side to lift up the oppressed out of poverty, out of oppression, teach us how to be independent, teach us how to be real men, not greedy men, but real men, not abusive men. I don't know. Just a real example of what a man should be, you know. Not the men that raised our generation, you know. Not impressed by them. I got a freaking scar on my throat because of a man. Fuck that shit. I got yelled at by a man most of my life. Fuck that shit. I didn't deserve that shit. Fucking hated me, yelled at me just for fucking existing. Can I just exist? I don't see you guys suffering. Fuck. You guys don't even suffer, and then you try to extort money out of us, guilt us for tithing or whatever. It's always trying to guilt us and scare us, and fuck that shit. Fuck this scaring everybody bullshit. Shouldn't be scared every day of your goddamn life, you know. So, if there is a Christ and he is if he's legit with me and you, there may be hope. If he's not, there may be no hope. Because this society's gone to shit. Since I've been born, it's gone to shit. So, that's a fact. Anybody that's been alive in the 80s and 90s, the 1980s and 1990s, knows this world has gone to shit since that time. Since the 80s and 90s, the world has gotten worse. Way worse. And you know it. If you were alive in the 1980s and 1990s, you know that the world has gotten way worse. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not making this shit up. So, anyways, you probably lost your house. You probably got divorced. You probably, your life is probably fucked up from the past 20 years, you know. Who do you blame? Yourself? I don't know. Probably. Anyways, I'm done venting for now. Hopefully I can finish recovering all the way. Trying some new things that the doctor has given me. One of the doctors has given me. Trying it. Hopefully it can help with certain things. If it does, it'd be huge. Because I'm still dealing with a few things, physical stuff. I'm still dealing with some physical stuff. Obviously there's some psychological stuff, but I'm still I do wish to get rid of the physical stuff. That would make life better if the physical pains were lessened or gone or tolerable. It would make life a lot better. So anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Hopefully you're doing good. If you're screwing somebody over, I'm watching you. If you're screwing somebody over and you know it, I'm watching you. If you're abusing your kids, I'm watching you. I'm all around. I'm always out every day, out in the open, doing my job. So, be good. Don't screw people over. And don't knowingly screw people over, and don't abuse a kid that's like half your size. All right, he's half your size. You've been on the earth longer than the kid. You should know better. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. I swear to God. I'm watching you. God is watching you. Don't hurt the kid. Or the kids. I'm serious. Anyways, I'm a little touchy about the don't hurt your kid thing. Alright, can you see that? Alright. Anyways, I'll talk to you later.